Hello everyone, this is Steven from MarTech Wiz. Today we're going to go over Pagewiz. It's another landing page tool that we looked at in depth, and it ranked we looked at around 20 or so landing page tools, ranked more than 15 of them, and in the end Pagewiz came in 13. Pagewiz has an excellent editor, but they lack certain key features and a fair amount of holes in their feature set. And then really one major flaw on top of that is what made it drop in the rankings. So let's go ahead and take you inside the tool and show you what we saw and some of our thoughts on Pagewiz. But first, you should know this video is only a small part of a massive project that we did on landing page builders. We conducted tests on over 15 landing page tools and did some really rigorous analysis on 50 different factors. So you can find the full rankings, see who's number one, see what tool you're considering buying, where they landed, and in-depth reviews on all the landing page builders we looked at, all with video, and this is on the MarTech Wiz site. So just click on the link on screen here or the link in the description, and not only will you get that full analysis there, you can also obtain a free PDF buying guide. This encapsulates all of the most important nuggets that we learned throughout this long project, and we wanted to pass them along to you, and we think you'll really like them a lot. So if you go into the dashboard, it's a nice enough dashboard. I don't have any stats here because I don't have any live pages, but you have the dashboard here, you have a pages tab here, leads, any custom domains you have, and so forth. So to set up a landing page, you hit that button, and then this brings up a interesting screen. So one you're basically never going to see in any other tool. You have a desktop landing page option and a mobile landing page option. And you might say, well, aren't the desktop pages mobile responsive? Well, not exactly. They're not automatically mobile responsive, and that's the one major flaw that we were talking about. You have to create up two versions, and we'll go through that process later on in the video. So in terms of the templates, the design of them is about average. You know, there's some good ones, there's some that aren't as kind of modern or stylish in our opinion, but they definitely should do the job for most. And then if they don't, also they have a landing page marketplace, so they use Theme Forest, and it's nice you can just toggle over so you can see the Theme Forest paid templates too. If any of those strike your fancy, it might make sense to shell out, 10 to 20 bucks. So let's go ahead and choose one of these to get started. Let's go ahead and choose this one and take you inside the editor. So the editor is really great. I mean, we really like the editor a lot, so we think it's a good foundation to build off of. And let's show you why. First, it's a pixel precise editor. So if you want to move anything anywhere in the screen, you can. Your actions aren't dictated by columns, like in a lot of the so-called drag and drop operators or editors. Let's just kind of see how this page, we have call to action, we have a nice section for companies, trusted companies. A nice little touch is instead of just having like lorem ipsum text, kind of the filler text, they do give you a little bit of guidance and some things you could put in these boxes, so I think it's kind of nice. Testimonial sections and so forth. One thing they have is alignment tools. So first of all, you have a ruler here, and you have this guidance here to show you probably where you do not want to put elements outside of that. But the best part of the alignment tools is what I feel is the guidance that they give you when you're aligned to another object. So you see here, if we go to the right, it shows up that we're right aligned with that. It shows that we are right aligned now again Now, I would have liked an option that shows us when we're right aligned to the actual text, or when we're centered. So I don't know if it's something I'm doing or that's not an option, but a centering alignment is very crucial to have. So it seems like, let's try to see if we can do anything with these, if it will show us a center alignment. Okay, so it's interesting. It doesn't show you the center of the item, which it shows you if the edge, like the right or edge now, is centered. So that's not ideal, but I guess it's better than nothing. And it's good for like this time because it's showing us that it's aligned to the bottom icon. So the alignment tools is a nice option. You don't see those in every drag and drop builder. With text, you have the ability to add any Google font, and that's a really nice option. So they come with all these fonts, but then you also have the ability to add Google fonts right in the editor. So let's see if we can show you that. Okay, so you click that Google button, and that brings up all the Google fonts. Let's say you want to add ABZ. You just add it on, and it should be there. I think it's at the end. Yeah, at the end, ABZ. What are some other nice functions? A smaller thing, but I find it handy, is right-click functionality. So I'm clicking the right button now, and you can change text, delete, lock it, certain basic actions. It has a flash element, which I haven't seen in anywhere else, so I don't know if anyone's using flash files anymore, but if you are, Pagewiz is definitely the landing page to go with. It has digital asset delivery, which I think is a great option. So let's show how that works. Let's get some more space. Let's add a section in here and add a button. So digital asset delivery is basically when someone fills out your form, you can redirect them to a file, either a link, or you can upload a file like a PDF report, an ebook, etc. In addition to that, as you saw, there's some other options. I'm going to get that back. You can redirect to a web address, of course, and you can also make a phone call. So you can do like a click to call, which is great, especially for mobile pages. And you don't see that a lot in landing pages, but I think you can actually add that with HTML if you don't have it in a landing page tool you're looking at. So in addition to that, they also have A/B testing. So if we go ahead and let's save this, and we can go to, let's go back to the dashboard. So if you want to publish, we can talk about that now since we're on the screen. You really only have two options. You can send it through the subdomain, the Pagewiz subdomain, which is a pretty standard option from landing pages, or you can set up your own custom domain. You would have to set it up in terms of getting your scene name and DNS records and setting all that up, I believe, with your hosting provider. Unfortunately, there's no WordPress plugin to make that a little easier for those on a WordPress site, and there's no Facebook like at the option to add your landing page as a Facebook tab or as a Facebook page. Let's go back to the dashboard, like I said, and show you how the A/B testing works. So if you go to the pages here, now you'll see we have one page here. You can pause publishing or unpause it. Let's go to the settings. Here you're going to have your statistics, your leads, the URL, and in the optimization tab, you can create another variant. So choose current page, and then you can duplicate it and make the changes from there. Okay, integrations. You can get them sent directly to your email, directly to a CRM. It is built-in integrations with all of these different providers in terms of email providers and CRM providers, and the big one is Zapier here. So as it says here, you can use Zapier to send your leads to hundreds of services around the web using Zapier, because that's what Zapier is made to do. It can help you pipe your data in, and then it pipes it out to over 500 or so different web services. So a very useful integration that they added there. Let's look at things they don't have. Some of the, let's bring up the page again. Some things they don't like, we don't like that they don't have, is an icon library. So that's just a nice option to have. A lot of times you'll see like there's icons here that they have, but these are actually images. You'll see they're not icons, so that would be a nice thing to have. They don't have an image library. They don't have color overlay for images, and that's an ability to, if you add an image, say here, then you'd have the image, you'd have the option to put like a color mask on it that's partially transparent, and that's a pretty common design feature that you see a lot on landing pages, and it can come in handy sometimes. Also, oddly, the click to drag isn't locked when you do it from the side, so the dimensions aren't locked. So if you try to click to drag, you could actually mess up the dimensions depending on how you do it. So that's just something that is surprising, that because in most times when you click the corner, it is automatically keeps the dimensions. They also don't have a countdown timer, which is always a nice thing to have in landing pages. We didn't see an option to have a custom favicon. And then one of the important things, they don't have pop-ups. So no exit intent pop-ups. You can pull up a lightbox with a page, a URL, but of course that's just not the same. You can't pull up a lightbox with a form. You're going to have the form directly on the page. Okay, so you do have options of some advanced form fields like Dropbox, checkboxes. In terms of the form, just some basic, where are you going to send them after they fill out the form, and some different error messages and validation messages you can send. Beyond that, the last major thing is, as we mentioned at the onset, is the lack of automatically mobile responsive fields. So let's go again back to the dashboard and see how that works. Okay, there's a couple ways you can do this, but you can go to the landing page, and let's go to mobile version, and then connect a mobile version. And we have to build one first. Okay, so let's call this LP1 mobile. Now you can choose from all these different ones, or all three of them. So there's very few templates, and I would recommend not using these templates. You'll see that if you do use one of these templates, they're actually meant for a 320 pixel wide phone, which is outdated in terms of how wide it is, and this is just not going to match up to the landing page we had before in any way, shape, or form. Now if you go into the support, it says to actually change this, so it recommends you do it a different way, where the width would be 540, which is more of a width for modern cell phones. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I would go ahead, you could probably clone it, but let's just to show you, start it new again. So what they say to do is clone it, and then, so imagine this is a clone version of the page we just made, and then change the width to 540 pixels. So when you do that now, this is going to be the mobile viewport. And what you have to do is arrange everything so that it fits into the mobile viewport. So you have to do something like this and do something like that and make sure everything's, and it's just a complete hassle. For example, this probably wouldn't even fit. This is a really long, well, I guess you can make that work. And then these, you'd have to stack these, so you'd have to like pull these down and then pull this over. It's just really a big downside and really a deal breaker for us that you would have to do all of this to get a mobile responsive page. But that's what you have to do. So if we save this, I just want to close the gap, show you how to connect the two pages. So then basically what happens, you connect the original version and the mobile version that we have here. Okay, so it looks like they are connected, yay. And as it says here, all incoming mobile traffic to this landing page will now automatically be directed to it. So basically, anyone who's viewing the URL from a mobile device will get that mobile version we made, and if they're on the desktop, they will get the original version that we made. Let's go to pricing. The pricing is a good pricing model in terms of a very good feature set in terms of what they have. They don't eliminate a lot of things in the starter plans. So the basic plan, you see, you can't do like white labeled emails, but you can do everything else: A/B testing, Zapier integration, etc. 5,000 unique visitors is not too bad for a basic plan, and it's $29 a month or 15% off, so that comes out to $296 approximately dollars per year. Then you have the $49 standard plan where you get 10,000 visitors, and it goes up from there, and all plans are 15% off. In terms of the final score, it got a 7, as we mentioned, so we like the editor a lot. Where it falls short is in the A/B testing, as well as it misses some of the features that are available in a lot of other landing page tools. So the final scores that we gave it were design 7, usability 7, features 7, and price 8. And that makes it the 13th highest ranking out of only 15, so out of a little bit more than 15. Hopefully they can build on the nice editor that they have and fill in some of these feature gaps and clean up that A/B testing mess, and I think it could drop a lot higher in the rankings with that. So this is just one out of the more than 15 landing page tools that we reviewed. You can find them all on this link here if you're interested in looking at some of the other reviews that we've had, see which is number 1, see maybe where the current tool that you're using ranks, and you can also download a free buying guide, and that has, from all the different tools that we looked at, we really picked out what are the most important factors that you should look at in a landing page tools and which tools have those factors. So that's a lot of information that you can just get free from our website, and that link to the guide is right here. So again, Steven from MarTech Wiz, thanks for watching.